Let's see what we got here. Looks like it's starting to turn on. Okay. Welcome, welcome. Just gonna take a minute here and make sure everything's working just exactly right. Shouldn't take too long. Alright. Let's see here. Alright. How's the sound? You guys gotta have to tell me what the sound. I got a new mic for video making purposes, so then I changed the audio settings for that. And then now when I'm streaming through the headset, I gotta change those. So you're gonna have to give me a heads up how the sound works. Michael Grayson, Richie's your boy. What's up? How you guys doing today? Can we hear? Sounds alright to me. You guys let me know though with the audio. So we're gonna be doing the Japanese battleships today. Just one sec. We're almost ready to rock and roll. Appreciate you guys swinging by today. Hope everyone's doing well. Alright, so first I do want to give a shout out to the new members since the last stream. I think we had one new one. So it's KSI Death Hand. Thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate it. As always, you guys just tuning in, watching the videos, stuff like that. That's a huge help as well. So good to see everyone. Sound fine? Okay. Yep, we got Silly XL. Yeah, I'll show you what. We actually had a bit of luck. So I got the campaign. So 2 days ago I had these two guys. Completed the campaign. Got 2 commander crates. So we got Bay and Celiax. And I was feeling pretty good because I haven't had 2 new commanders in more than like, it's been about 2.5 months since that's how long it took me to get 2 commanders prior to that. So I thought, hell, let's try that commander crate that was in the shop. So I got that, and then we got this little boy, this crabby looking dude, Luchins. So I actually got 1 commander for each line. I'm pretty happy with that. I would have preferred Von Mueller, but these 2 I was hoping for. So Eric Bay, I'm going to put him on as the Japanese inspiration for Tanaka. Then I'll have Bay and Swirsky. So it'll be a powerful stealth build. I just want to take a look at the Japanese commanders before we jump into it. So here's what I got TAKEO set up currently. I do have Cunningham, which for my playstyle I would prefer to put him on all battleships as an inspiration. And then currently I have Shear. Shear's someone that I think people are going to overlook. Now keep in mind these generics, the generics all have really strong inspiration traits. Like Shear, for instance, decrease fire chance and reduce the damage control reload. Now I only have him as level 9, so he's not massively powerful right now. And my Takagi build, I have not finalized it yet. I'm gonna for sure keep Scott on here, Cunningham. And once I get some more resources, he's going to be probably my next max commander, just because I'm going to be using him as an inspiration on a lot of different ships. This slot I'm still deciding on. I might keep Shear. I do have Shear slotted for a couple of different builds. I do have him slotted as the second inspiration for the UK battleships, for instance. Currently I have him slotted for the second inspiration on Celiax, but it's going to come down to me playing around. Now, Ciliax has a decent one, increase AP shell damage to your battleship. I actually loaded that on earlier before I started the stream. It was only adding about 200 damage per shell, potentially, adding to the max damage. Now I only have him level 6. I don't have the resources to pump a lot into him right now. I have to save my resources to put into base, so we'll experiment with that. But what I want to point out to you guys, do not sleep on KONDO. This is powerful, this base trait. So right now it's 3% at, what do I got him, level 9. So let's say you get this up to 5%, for instance. Let me take a look. So Amagi 15.1 is the detectability range of surface. So 15.1 times 0.95, that'd be a 5%. That brings it down to 14.345. So you almost get a full kilometer by getting this up to a 5%. And that's very powerful. And I'm definitely going to boost this guy up quite a bit. He's not on a high priority section of my agenda right now just because I have other ship lines that need attention. But I definitely will at some point boost this guy up. And my plan build, let me see if I have a plan build for him. KONDO. I would put Swirsky if you got him, or Bay if you don't have access to the Polish commander. And then Cunningham would be my second. So, because I haven't used him for a while, this is just an old build, but this is a nice survivability build right here. This is reducing the reload at cost of lowering the max firing range. That's debatable. The Japanese battleships, a lot of their strength lies in their really long firing range, so this is a perfectly fine skill too. But these three I would stick with, and then I don't like lowering the accuracy of my guns ever, so this is the only viable legendary trait in my mind. But that's up to you. What's up, Bane? How you doing? Stylo? Alright. We're just about to jump into it here, but I did want to go over the commander build. So definitely, if you get KONDO, don't sleep on it. And I did a video on the cruiser stealth game. I'm planning on doing a battleship one at some point too, and KONDO's definitely a strong inspiration / commander. So currently I use TAKAGI, but if you have just KONDO, he's definitely better than Togo. Togo, I do want to point out, what do I have him slated right now? I have him slated to be Eric Bay's secondary inspiration. Reduce the consumable reload time. That's not bad for a inspiration. You don't want to be using the generics as a primary ship commander if possible, but putting that reload, and you combine that with this, which is cutting down 20% on the sonar charge, that's going to get it down to like 25%. So we're going to be pumping these sonars out. So as of right now, of course I haven't finalized Eric Bay's build yet because I just got him and I don't have the resources to do it. But if you could get Togo up to like a level 10, a level 12, that's a viable inspiration. Reduce consumable reload time. You could look at that for any cruiser build. So don't sleep on Togo. But all right, we'll kick this off here. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate that as always. And today we're going to be looking at the Japanese battleship line. That's what you guys voted for. So it starts off, obviously you go through the cruisers, level 2. I don't even have that, whatever that thing is. And where do we go? Ishizuki. So we'll fire it up. We'll go through all the tech tree ships, then we'll play a few games in the Amagi, and then depending on time we might take some requests or see what's going on at that point. So hopefully it'll be a good stream today. It's good to see everyone showing up. Thanks for doing that. Hey Aaron. Yeah, I got a bunch of doubloons. What happened, I needed the doubloons. I bought that stupid 10 commander crate pack, which was a disaster. Despite needing half the commanders, I only got one duplicate, or non-duplicate. What's up, Buddha? Dominic. How you guys all doing? Good to see everyone. So yeah, that ended my crate buying career. I'm never gonna buy another commander crate in this game. It's just retarded. I mean, my luck last night with the 2 rewards for the campaign, and I was feeling saucy, so I got the 1 German commander crate, and I got 3 hits, so that was huge. Love the videos, thanks, appreciate that. You only got 1 non-duplicate too. Yeah, that's it's just too. It's random, and give it time. You'll get them all for free. So my Discord got me all riled up about that deal, and I thought, let's try it. And it paid off about as well as I thought it would. So not recommended. I do have notoriously bad luck when it comes to commander crates, so keep that in mind. Tenryu, that's the tier 2. So to get to the battleships, you have to play this, obviously. And maybe you have to play tier 3. I can't remember. But anyway, Ishizuki, we'll take a look. Look at the diagram in the bottom here. So let's see. That's the angle you can get to get all the guns firing. That's an incredible firing angle. And that really is the feature of the ship. It's lightly armored. It's kind of a battle cruiser, but you can't beat the angle. So if this guy was angling properly, he'd be about positioned how I am instead of flat.
The ship is on fire.
But these are obviously low tier players, so you can't harp on them too badly. Now, I am pushing a little close. This is closer than I really want to get. So you want to shoot this guy if possible. And this guy, I think he missed it about 20 yards. So no comment. But I would like to turn around here, so that's what I'm attempting to do. I might hit that island, which would be a problem. Alright, so now I'm angled like this towards this guy, and again we can get a very steep firing angle. So you don't want to push too hard into 3 ships that can crossfire you. That's why I like to turn around at some point if possible. You do have to time your turns though, because you have to go full broadside to get it, and that's when you can get punished pretty severely. What's up, Data Cat? How you doing today? Keep getting discus. Yeah, I love this game, obviously. I play it a lot, but the commander trade system is...
The ship is on fire!
A major drag. I wish they would figure it out. In my mind, there should not be duplicate of the generic type commanders.
Target penetrated.
That's already a problem. I've gotten Dewey out of crates probably 8 times, I believe. And most of them were before you could even make him legendary, so he's still a dud. All he is a mustache. Just got Hipper? Nice. That's a good pull. Alright. So the Ishizuki is lightly armored, but if you angle it well, you can do pretty decently. A lot of people ask me in the comments of the videos why I don't heal 1 flyer. Generally, that's not a good idea. Because what happens is you use your damage con, then it's on cooldown for a good over a minute. And so then if you get torped or if you get multiple fires, there's nothing you can do about it at that point. That didn't do much. So 1 fire, and you see that green bar next to my health? That's the potential damage that I can heal. So fire damage is considered light damage. You can heal basically 100% of it. So a single fire is not giving you enough damage to your ship to be a major threat. You can heal it, and so, man, this guy needs to watch my aiming video. But because it's not a threat, because you can heal it, it's not worth putting out with damage comp. But if I stop the single fire and now I get 2, 3, 4 fires, or a fire and a flood, or even just a flood, those are all major threats to my ship that can actually kill me. So that's why you need to managing your damage control is a huge part of this game. Did I not have him targeted? That was a really bad shot in terms of dispersion. Managing your own ship's damage control is a huge part, and noticing the enemy's damage control. Like, if you see them put out a fire, that's when you switch to HE and start bombing on them, or try and get them to flood with a torque or whatever. This poor guy. If I could disengage and leave him alone, I would, but I can't. This guy's trying to help him. That's admirable. I mean, he's shooting AP, which is nice. He just isn't aiming very well. Alright. He's slowing down. Damn it. Wanted to finish him off. Would be nice if you could buy the commander you need. Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, it's just... The problem with this commander system that they have now is it's not fun. The game's supposed to be fun, so... Obviously they're getting a massive amount of feedback, and hopefully they're taking it to heart. But the problem is that there's a lot of people that have sunk a lot of money into it, so it's kind of hard to change it at this point. Like, if you spend $1,000 getting Sims, and then they just changed it, like, to either make them not as valuable or make them a lot easier to get, then everyone would be pissed off and complaining about that. So then what do? They refund everyone? They're kind of in deep. Right, this guy's probably torping me. I do need to be paying attention to that. And I can just kill him with my front gun, so I'm going to disengage the auto lock. And you want to get as much speed as you can and be going basically flat at him as possible. I mean, he can't damage me, so I'm not worried about him doing anything, but he can torp me, and that could be a major problem. So I'm just going to continue assuming there's torps right here, give it 10 seconds. If they don't show up, then we'll know they're cleared. But I do need to go back to protect the base. We do have a couple tier 2s, so it's not the end of the world, but... So we've got roughly double our hit points and damage. This ship is a lot of fun.
You are the last hope.
My USN Battleship experience has been harrowing due to my horrible commanders, and I think the guns are extremely inaccurate in general. If you watch my Wyoming video I put up today, you can see some examples of that. But this ship, I got a 12-point TAKAGI in it. It's accurate enough, and it's maneuverable, so this is a really fun battleship. You're the last hope. 1 or 2 games with the Nuremberg. Yeah, I could possibly do that. I haven't actually played it since the update, so it'd be kind of fun to check it out. I'm assuming it's... I liked the Nuremberg before. I didn't really mind the firing angles, just because I can get them to work. So I could... Right here, I should actually probably be putting pressure on their cap. I don't know, this is tough, because they could double cap mine and win. But right now they can avoid me and win on points, so I kind of have to at least pressure theirs. This is kind of a gamble. If they get 2 ships on my cap, we're going to lose for sure. If they get 1 on there before I get on here, we're going to lose for sure, because I'm not going to be able to turn around and hit that. But this cruiser was last seen heading east, and the destroyer is doing God knows what. So if I can get on that cap before they get 1 on theirs, I think I could probably win this. But I need to, if I pressure them, then they'll have to come towards me, and then I can presumably kill them, unless these guys are down here seal clubbing. What's up, Ben Peg Forever? How you doing? But yeah, kind of closing out games, that's something I notice a lot of players in randoms have trouble with. And it's just, it's a skill that comes with experience, but you do need to evaluate the situation. Like, initially I was inclined to defend the base, but I think that would have probably resulted in a loss. But we don't know what these guys are doing just because of their potentially random tactics. Even more beastly now with the added gun angles. Yeah, I can assume. I mean, it's a DPM monster. It's the only tier 5 light cruiser, and it can just pump out damage if you can keep that ship alive. So what am I doing now? I'm just trying to get detected so I can get an idea where that destroyer is. Again, if they put 2 on cap within the next little while, they might be able to win. See, they got 1 on there. If they both hop on, I don't know. I mean, I got 2 minutes 20 seconds. So if they get 2 on that cap, I'll probably lose by points. Nobody knows what you're doing about. That's kind of the name of the game when it comes to wargaming. Alright, so the destroyer's on there, we know that. I don't think Colberg has smokes. No, it doesn't, so. And judging by the speed that that's capping, it does look like they have both on there, so I'm gonna have to... Nope, one of them got off. Alright. So now what's the problem? If I get shot, they can reset me and then that's a loss. All they have to do is hit me once. I'm just gonna go over there anyways. It's very hard for me to win this situation. Oh, I got a minute 36. I'm gonna stay here. Because the guy got off, that makes it... Alright, I'm detected. So all this guy has to do is shoot me. Yep. So, yeah, he did reset us there, so if I can get a shot in on that other ship, then we can win. If not, they're gonna win. That's really all you have to do. I don't think a lot of players understand that, is you need to hit the guys that are in the cap to reset it. You know, it seems basic, but I see a lot of people not doing it all the time, and that results in losses. Like, I probably got a minute to see this guy if he's hiding, but what the hell is he doing? Okay. Alright, no offense to this guy, but that was completely stupid. See, now all I have to do is reset him, and that's just going to remove a bunch of his points. So that dropped him down to basically... took a minute off his capture time, which is going to allow me to win if he doesn't torp me. And I don't think that ship has torp, so... By him popping out, that just costs his team the game. Again, he's a low-tier player, presumably doesn't know what he's doing. So no offense to that player particularly, but you gotta understand what you're doing. You know. It really frustrates me when you're winning on points and then people just YOLO into the other team and melt because they're all one-shots and they're like, oh, I want to see if I can take on a full health Amagi with my, you know, 10k health Mayoko or whatever they're in, you know. No cap kill. I mean, this guy can't possibly sink me. I don't think he has torp, so... If I lose this, stream is over. I can just ram him for God's sake, so we should be able to win the game. Now he is getting points because he's on my cap, so keep that in mind. But you can't, guns can't even damage me at this angle, so. Fortunate play for him. All he had to do is hide behind the silo. He's gonna avoid the ram. Oh, you bastard. Alright. There we go.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
Alright, so that was a little goofy. That's low tiers for you. That's why I don't really like to play low tiers. I'm not saying that people playing higher tiers know what they're doing necessarily, but that was just ridiculous. That was intense. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. That was a fun game. We'll just call it that. So that's the Ishizuki. I definitely like that ship a lot. Nice warm up, yeah. So if I ever get in the mood to sell ships that I don't like, this one I would definitely keep. The next one, the KONDO, probably one I would not keep. I find this to be about as inaccurate as you can. It's almost as inaccurate as the New York, which is, that's kind of a low blow to say that, but we'll see. I mean, if you get lucky with your RNG, KONDO can do well. I think it hits pretty hard. Let's take a look at the stats here. KONDO. So AP damage is the highest at the tier by about, it's about 300 higher than the Iron Duke. About 700 higher than the USN battleships. Oh, we'll see how the KONDO does when that comes out. My understanding of the German battleships, they're not like heavy hitters. KONDO makes you moist. Well, alright. Yeah, I mean, you can take care of that right now. I'll be playing the KONDO, so. Alright, so we got a tier 4 match. New York, 2 Iron Dukes, and a KONDO. So 3 enemies in a platoon, or a division. No Stylo. I wonder what's going on, Stylo. Are you having trouble getting in? Stylo's a great viewer of mine. He checks out all the videos, checks out all the streams. But we definitely will see him out there at some point. He enjoys getting in. So, anyone else can come back to it. And we'll try. Alright, we'll see if this thing can get anything. Yep. That's probably alright. Yeah, we got him. 3k on that Acosta, that's probably semi-severe. I was inclined to sink that Danae, but again, you want to be shooting the destroyers when the opportunity presents itself. Baron will be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I've been looking forward to that. Alright, so here's their KONDO. Let's see what we can do on this guy. Working on this angle. So I'm kind of angled against the ships that are over here, but you got to keep these guys in mind too, so I'm going to keep turning. One overpen. Nice shot. Oh, here's this guy. Oh. So, our destroyer could definitely use some help. This guy's a tier 3, that one's a tier 4.
Fighter airborne.
And he actually got pushed off the cap, it looks like. I don't think he tried to do it. Yeah,
Target penetrated.
Danae is just... I hope to God the rest of the British cruiser line isn't that squishy, because that ship, you just have to look at it funny and it'll die. Man, we just got smoked there. Was that the KONDO? The firing angles on the KONDO are definitely not as steep as the Ishizuki. Kind of surprised he was able to sit over with me there, to be honest with you. So it looks like their destroyer is still in the cab. I'm not massively concerned about losing B at the moment. No objectives have been captured yet, so if I can remove that dude, that'd be ideal. So here's what you gotta be worried about. If these guys are looking at the map, I'm in a major I got a major problem being broadside to this guy. But this guy's obviously shooting at me. This guy's focused on whatever's in front of him. This guy's beached.
All stations.
Yeah. Looks like he's trying to push past it. Oh, there he goes. He just squeezed by it. Alright, so because these guns are inaccurate, we got him once. But we did get a reset there. I mean, again, I'm not worried about that KONDO hitting me. These guys are actually starting to be... Like, I want to shoot this Iron Duke because he's perfectly broadside, but I'm perfectly broadside to him. I have to angle against all these ships. If I alert that Iron Duke, if I alert him to my presence, he potentially could start focusing on me. He's still got this KONDO over here. He's probably going to be fighting if I leave him alone, so... Did we miss? Holy shit. That's a complete miss. I mean, this guy's doing some damage, but it's not a lot. So I'm kind of just fine sitting here, positioned how I am. Oh, this guy's getting smoked over there. And Omaha's turning, so we're going to let him do that. Still... No, he's going to do a full turn. Alright. Could kill him, potentially.
All stations.
There we go.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
Omaha's another really squishy ship.
Reporting the position of a strategic target.
So, that's what you want to be doing. You're just looking on the map for broadside targets. That's mostly what you're doing in a battleship. Trying to angle against people that can shoot you, and then finding ships that are coming sideways towards you.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
So this guy's been nice.
Enemy battleship sunk.
He got torped. That was really good. So torping destroyers is really tough to do. I don't really recommend trying to do that, but I said nice because he torped him. I know I killed the guy simultaneously, but I'm not really worried about these battleships, to be honest with you. That destroyer was the main problem. Substantially weaker armor in the rear quarter. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the IJN battleships are kind of classified as battle cruisers. Another couple ships. Wow, this is, we're actually getting some damage done with the KONDO. A lot of times you can't hit shit in this thing. This is a nice change. But, yeah, you either want to play them at really long range or get them into, like, mid to close range. They're not good at that 10 to 12 kind of zone. Because that's when the other battleships, like the USN battleships, start to get accurate at that range. But these ships in general have the longest range. They're pretty accurate, so if you can stay at the edge of your firing range, you usually do pretty well. Can't wait for the German battleships, yeah. Go head to head with the Japanese. I mean, the game's pretty well balanced, so. Not a lot of instances where one ship line has a massive advantage over the others, if you're playing them properly. So evaluating the map, we got C, we got B, and there's really nothing over there to threaten those. Did I miss that completely? Oh, he died. Alright. So all we have to do is kind of pressure A and then defend it. And yeah, we're up by 3 ships, so this is looking pretty good.
All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
But yeah, the German battleships, from what I've read and looked into, it looks like they're all going to be kind of more effective closer range. So that's how I'm planning on speccing them out, at least till I actually start trying them. Turpit's confirmed. I can't confirm that. We've seen screenshots of it being tested. There was a really naughty super tester that released a picture of it. Yep, good point, Stylo. They did point that out today. The British cruisers won't be in the game this year, which is fine. If you could go back to that Dene, how I just wrecked him. I kill every Dene I ever see. The British cruisers, I think, are probably the hardest cruiser line in the game, from what I understand. So they're really concerned about people playing them and then thinking they suck.
Confirmed penetration.
Which I agree is a major problem. A lot of people think the Vanguard sucks. And no offense to the people that do think that, but they're just playing it wrong. Like, the Vanguard does not suck. If you don't play the Vanguard how you need to play the Vanguard, then you're gonna absolutely get wrecked. So, I think the British ships in general are the hardest, all the ones we have, and I think that's why they're being careful with that cruiser line. But I understand a lot of people are from the UK and they want to get their ships going. But they're coming. Apparently our secondaries are not in range yet. I have no idea what the specs are on these lower ships for that type of stuff. There they go. So I'm turning away from him. He might get a shot in my broadside here, but I don't think so. But New York's gonna, his advantage is gonna grow the closer together we get, so
Much obliged, Commander.
just gonna keep this between us. Disable his guns, shoot his superstructure. I could probably penetrate his bow, take a shot at the bow. There we go. Yeah, that's something you got to be concerned about playing USN battleships. They're really strongly armored on the sides. Frontally and in the rear, they're really weakly armored, so keep that in mind. You can see there, we just punched right through the front of the Citadel. So, something you definitely need to be aware of. Should be able to finish him off with the upper hull shot here. TAKEO.
Enemy battleship foundered.
And we got 154 so far, so this is actually a pretty kick-ass Congo game.
Fighter returning to ship.
Running out of real estate over here. Looks like Torps might hit him. Yep, he got one. Ooh, he's got a lot of Torps. So this guy's in trouble. But I'm just slowing down. You don't want to hit the side of the map. That's when problems can arise, because it kind of forces you to turn at that point. It's not like... This guy can definitely sink me at any moment if I make a mistake with my positioning. But if he makes a mistake with his positioning, alright.
Main turret critically damaged.
Alright, so that was a pretty good game. Wonder if you might change your mind about go to tier 10. I don't know. The reason they wanted tier 7 or 7 tiers is because that'll keep the load times down. So it's always going to be +1, +1, -1 matchmaking, I think is the intention there. Good to hear, Paul. Appreciate that. So, and you can see it on World of Tanks, like, the more spread out the players are that are playing the game, because there's more tiers, then the harder it can be to match those ships up. So that's why they have to do, like, if you play a tier 7 in World of Tanks, for instance, you can see up to tier 9, you can see down to tier 5. And people complain about this non-stop online, okay? And because they complain about it non-stop, then Wargaming said, alright, we really don't like to listen to these guys complain all the time, so how can we fix this? Let's get it down to +1, -1 matchmaking. How can we do that? Well, let's just make it 7 tiers. So that's the thinking. So, you kind of get what she asked for in some cases, but honestly, I'd prefer +1 -1 over 10 ships. So you think of World of Tanks, a lot of times there's 2-3 clunkers in the line that you really hate anyways, so in general, most of the ships in these lines are pretty good. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. If you don't mind hitting that like button quick, that really helps out the channel and the video in terms of how YouTube promotes it, so I definitely appreciate everyone who's done that. And we're just going to continue on with the Fuso here. I mean, so far we've had 2 pretty good games, and in general I really probably think that the Japanese Battleship line is my favorite. I don't know. I mean, they're all pretty good. I don't like the USN battleships. Part of it's because I've had Dewey commanding them, but they're really slow and they're hard to stay relevant throughout the whole game. The Japanese have the speed, they have the accuracy, they have the distance. Too much dispersion. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it might be my builds, just because my commanders don't have the option to cut down on the dispersion with the US battleships, but I find the Tier 3, Tier 4, and even the New Mexico, to an extent, to be extremely inaccurate ships.
Action stations.
The British battleships, I really love those, starting with the Queen Elizabeth. I love the King, or George, and then the Vanguard, I really enjoy that one too, so that's a strong line. And the Scharnhorst is a lot of fun to play. I think the German battleships are going to be pretty cool once we get those starting 6 days from now. So, if you don't know, those will be early access like the German destroyers are now. So I'd save those Deutschmarks if you don't have other things in the shop you need, like insignias would be your priority, commander crates, those promotion orders, potentially the premium time. And then after that, I would just save all your Deutschmarks and use them on the next go around. I mean, if you want to try your luck for the German destroyers, cool. I'm not going to stop you, but they're going to be all in the game for free in 6 days. Is my point. So you're kind of wasting them at this point. That's how I would approach it, anyways. So this map, I really don't like it at all. I don't mind it as much for domination. Capture the base mode, this map is horrible because you can lose the game in 3 minutes very easily. The enemy will park a ship on the cap and then your team won't do anything about it. And if you're on the other side of the map, not a lot. God damn it. That's why you should always check your ammo selection before the game gets going. Whenever I played Fuso last, I'd probably try to kill a destroyer at the end of the game or something. And while we did get a decent salvo there in a fire, that could have potentially been a lot better. You know, you never know, so. I don't ever shoot HE at battleships. Not with these Japanese guns, at least. Now Fuso, you'll notice 6 turrets. I mean, the Fuso's a very powerful ship. Tier 5 battleships in general tend to be very strong. But 6 turrets, 2 guns, so you got 12 per. I mean, the accuracy is probably not pinpoint, but because you have so much firepower flying through the air, it ends up being fairly accurate. But again, that's mainly coming down to volume. Yeah, we got 7 on them. Nuremberg. You got lucky and landed all 5 German destroyers in the first week. Nice. I mean, I'm really excited for the German destroyers too, by the way. The tier 2 and 3 have the forward firing tubes, which are fun. The tier 4 looks like a dud to me, and then the tier 5 through 7 all look really strong, so. I mean, the battleships will be fun too, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sleeping on the destroyers by any means. Now this Pensacola, he's inclined to push into me for some reason. That makes no sense. Maybe he's trying to kill this destroyer who's a one-shot. If that's what he's trying to do, fine, but... Closing the distance on a Fuso. It's not a good way to stay alive in a Pensacola. See there? Oh, that's what's gonna happen to you.
Destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Pensacola just never, ever, ever should rush any battleship in the game. It has no torp, so it has no short-range threat that I need to worry about. So I really don't even care what that Pensacola does. All I have to do is wait to shoot him and then blow him away, and he's gonna get smoked every time. UK cruise with high skill cap. They're not. I don't think they're shying away from it, Jay. They're coming for sure, but like, go to Reddit and read all the threats, or not the threats, but the threads about the Vanguard. Everyone says it sucks. It needs to be buffed. You know, every week there's a thread about how bad the Vanguard is. I don't think the Vanguard's bad at all. In fact, I tend to do better in the Vanguard than my other Tier 7 battleships. Part of that's, I think, because it forces you to play very carefully. I mean, if you don't play it very carefully and you don't play it properly, you will die very quickly. There's no doubt about that, but that's not the ship's fault. If you play it well, the ship's actually quite strong. It's very tanky and the firepower is accurate. It's relatively fast loading, so... Whew.
Enemy heavily damaged.
With the Fuso, you can see we're just racking up the damage here too. We're almost at 100k on this one. Buy some of the German coins. I think the chances is from what I have no idea, but I think the chances are about 1 in 10 of getting a crate that has a ship in it. So, that's up to you. Again, Deutschmarks for me are much more valuably spent on things like insignias, which are the most rare thing in the game, promotion orders, commander crates, if you need the commanders, and premium time. Those to me are a lot more valuable to me personally than getting a ship early that will be out for free in 6 weeks or whatever, you know. So if you have patience and you want to go for the things that I would recommend and consider more valuable, I'd use them on that sort of stuff, but it's 100% up to you. That's why there's options for those instead of, otherwise it would just say Keeble's currency or whatever. And you'd all be forced to do what I would prefer, which isn't any fun. That might catch him. Yeah. Alright.
Confirmed penetration.
I mean, these guys, you don't want to be broadside to a Fuso, guys. This is... I mean, they're giving me some decent damage. Again, the Japanese battleships aren't massively armored. So... But I've already done 2 battleships worth of damage. So, assuming my team doesn't completely mess up, which it looks like they're doing their best to actually do. Like, we have no one at sea. The only cap that we have anyone at.
Torpedoes to port.
Oop.
Torpedoes to port.
You know, we're gonna lose C whenever they get around to it. B, we have no one contesting
Torpedoes
it.
to port.
A, we've actually lost despite having someone in there the entire game, so... This should be a loss, but... I don't know what I'm supposed to do to change that. 6 weeks from August 12th, yeah, exactly. So... They're coming, guys. I mean... And it just comes down to what you value, you know? Like, I'm patient enough to say, well, I'll get them all for free anyways. But I am kind of saving up the Deutschmarks now, so that... Oh, this could be a problem. Once I've bought all the stuff that I'm talking about, insignias, promotion orders, commander crates, stuff like that, once I've gotten all those, I'll spend all the rest of the Deutschmarks on the battleship crates. Because it would be nice to get them. Damn. He bounced all those. That sucks. You know, I'm not saying don't buy the crates, but the contents of the German crates themselves I don't think are very valuable. Like, I don't put a lot of value on camos and boosters and stuff like that. Those are just things I would never personally spend money on. Wow, I can't do anything. I mean, that's what armor angling does, guys. I mean, he took 2 full salvos from me at close range. And absolutely destroyed me. There's really not much I could have done there. Are they way through it? Those are gonna some of the best battleships in the game. A lot of people really like the battleships. The only one I've played is the Scharnhorst, which I really enjoy playing. I don't think this, whether they're the best or not, I don't know. I mean, if you had a map where you loaded in one Amagi versus one Bismarck, I'm assuming the Amagi should win that fight. But that's if it keeps it at distance and, you know, controls the fight that way. I mean, the Scharnhorst close in on any ship can sink it no problem, so. In general, I don't tend to think any ship is inherently better than the others. I think they all kind of, they're designed to balance each other out just through different varieties of gameplay styles, so. But yeah, that's the Fuso. That's another ship I really love. I mean, these ships kind of tend to switch off. Like the Ishii I really like, the Kongo. I mean, last game we got kind of lucky with the RNG, so we actually had a pretty good game on that one. A lot of times that can be trolly with the accuracy. Fuso, I really like that. That's one of my favorite tier 5s. Nagato's another one where the accuracy kind of ebbs and flows with how the game's feeling. You'll use your Iowa and take the Amagi down. I don't know about that. I mean, here's the thing about the Vanguard. Like, everyone thinks the Vanguard sucks, and I've soloed, you know, dueled Iowas and Amagis to the ground without any problems, just by playing it properly. And that's focusing on armor angling, firing 2 cannons or 2 turrets worth of shots when the situation calls for it, firing 4 if you do get the chance, but you know, if you polled the community, 99% of the people would say the Vanguard's the worst tier 7 battleship, which it may be, it may not be, I don't know. It's got 2 King Georges and a Scharnhorst. Congo, oof. No Stylo, where the hell is Stylo? Maybe he's busy. Legendary rank, 15 sims. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge difference. I'm sure my assessment of the Iowa would dramatically increase if I had sims. So even having Lee does nothing to the accuracy of that ship. And the Iowa's a very accurate ship to begin with, so it's not necessarily a problem on that, but when you're going against a bunch of max commanders that do have 10% better accuracy than you, I mean, that's a significant disadvantage. Which is why I don't tend to like to play the Iowa too much. But I'll try him out with, what's-his-face, Lee. We'll see. I mean, Lee's more spec'd out for like a close range build. I don't think the Iowa's a close range ship. Alright. So this game, if you've heard me talk about it, typically the North spawn can take C with minimal effort, the Sol spawn can take B. I usually like to support the weak side,
I need support.
if possible. Just to slow down the enemy's intended push or whatever they're trying to do. That's gonna miss wide, I think. I got him 1. But if you play the weak side, you gotta assume that you're gonna have to turn around and kite. That should be your game plan going into it. You should never plant yourself here and be stubborn and say, I'm gonna defend this or die. Because you will definitely die. You're outnumbered over here. It's not worth having that mentality.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Scharnhorst is always an interesting ship to aim against because it's very fast. It's almost like a cruiser in terms of speed, so you do want to aim quite a bit further forward than you normally would on a battleship with that one. And the Gato, I believe, is the longest range in the game. Do you want to keep that in mind? Definitely has a longer range than the Amagi. I can check after this, but I think it has the longest range. At least on my builds. So you can definitely keep ships at arm's length with this one and just kind of wear them down. This would be a great ship for stealth Kongo build, or KONDO. Is that his name? Who the hell dislikes someone's stream? Ah, whatever, who cares? People, I got a couple of people that dislike every single video I put up. And I just appreciate them tuning in. The funny thing is YouTube like considers any engagement like positive in terms of the video analytics, so even disliking this video every time, they're actually slightly helping it out. Just leave, yeah. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just part of the... Maybe they don't like the content. I'm definitely not for everyone. What's up, KONDO? Play aggressive VVs. 89 secondary hits. Ooh. That's pretty nasty. Pretty game. I mean, the people disliking are probably some of the guys that I've been sinking with like one shots, so they're just taking out their aggression or their anger. Yeah, and Shinehor is very difficult to citadel. You can possibly do it through the deck, but you're not going to get it through the side. And there's some of that Nagato accuracy that I was talking about.
The ship is on fire!
This guy's been sailing around backwards the entire match. Oh, come on. Maybe suck him in the stream, yeah, exactly. Who knows? It doesn't affect me whatsoever. It shouldn't affect anyone else. Is it bad you're watching at work? No, I think a lot of people will watch either the videos or the streams when they're working, so... Sure as hell beats actually doing work, right?
The enemy team is taking the lead.
So I'd actually recommend watching at work. 12 a.m. for you? Oh. I'm normally up at 12 a.m., so... Alright, here's the point where I should probably start thinking about turning around. I hit the damage con because I thought I had two fires. I think one of them went out just as I hit it, which is unfortunate.
Problem solved, sir.
I mean, this King George that's shooting at me over there, or shooting at me, they can cause multiple fires in short order, so... By not having a damage control for over a minute now, that's put me at major risk. Again, we have torps here, we have a destroyer that's close range.
Torpedoes astern.
This is actually probably gonna get both of us killed. That we're running into each other here. This is not good at all.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to eat that. There we go. Alright, so he actually did a really good thing there by turning with us or away from them.
Enemy battleship sighted.
Damn it. If he would have stayed broadside, we both probably would have died there. And each side didn't have that Icarus
The enemy is
selected.
about to win.
So you can't hit destroyers if you don't have them selected. Peaceful and fun. Yeah, everyone's got their own style, you know. People tend to say I'm fairly chill and laid back, which that's a reflection of who I am. So. And here's another good tip for you. You don't want to, like, there's no point in me lining up these front guns to shoot at them when they're still turning. Like, I see a lot of players try and get their guns in a position to fire before they're even turned. There's no point, so I want to just... I could keep as steep as angle as possible, have those two back guns firing. The results are the same either way, because I can't hit those back guns, or I can't fire the back guns anyway, so. Let's see, who do we want to shoot? Let's try him. Kiting over here, you gotta keep an eye on the map. You don't want to be hitting this edge, that causes a lot of problems. This is a nice wide open area, and again I make this play a lot, defending the weak side. Unfortunately our team's completely melted, so it has no strategic import, but let's say our ships were even, and we had 4 guys chasing us 2 here. That would allow the other guys in my team to potentially cap some of these objectives, or they'd be overmatched on the other side. They could crush that far flank, while these guys really can't do a lot of damage to me. I can keep them busy and just kind of whittle them down, but it's completely irrelevant because my whole team died doing God knows what. So not a lot we can do about that. I mean, you can see they have 4 or 5 ships over here. So that means that our other side had the advantage in terms of numbers, but if they can't convert on that, then there's nothing you can do about that. Now here I can't obviously angle against these guys and these guys, so this is when you die. This is why when that flank collapses, then the game's essentially over, because there's nothing I can do here. Kill that guy. And we died on point, or lost on points anyways, so. You're also watching at work? Nice, Nathaniel. Yeah, I get a lot of people that tell me they watch the videos or the streams at work, so I think that's fairly normal. So I don't know, that's the first real clunker we've had here. But again, that was kind of, no offense to these individuals, but I mean, I only got 600 XP, which was not a good game either, but you know, these type of scores, that just means they're getting deleted kind of right off the bat. And again, you know, 31k damage in a Nagato, that's a dog shit game too, so I'm not slamming my team saying I did great and they lost it. But had that other flank still been engaged, I could have kited those guys that were behind me and probably actually killed them all if I had enough time, you know. So it's a very strong play for battleships, cruisers to make, even destroyers in some situation. Yeah, we got the Amagi. So I'll fire up the Amagi. I'll probably play a few Amagi games. We might switch in some other ships as well. So if you guys have other ships you want to see played today, let me know. I have all the ships in the game except for the Campbelltown and the regular Texas. But we'll definitely get at least a few Amagi games in here. This ship's a lot of fun to play. Again, so currently, if you didn't see the early part of the stream, I have TAKEO. He's got what's his name? Cunningham, which increases precision. That's the standard on all my battleship builds. Currently, I don't have that slated for the German build, but we'll see once I actually get around to building that. And then I'm kind of going back and forth between Sheer or Celiacs. Alright, so this, because I'm spotted already, this is actually a problem. So what you want to do in battleships is turn right away. What map is this? Haven again? Oh shit. Yeah, I would have liked it. I don't know why I didn't recognize this map. I would have liked to have done the same play and support these guys. But because I'm spotted right off the bat, I need to complete the turn before, because if I'm taking incoming fire right now while I'm fully broadside, that's how you get deleted before the game even starts.
Enemy cruiser detected.
And why I like to turn is because of, oh shit. So you can park next to this island here and just get jammed up on it. That's a really strong play. No. Ideally you don't want to hit an island, but then that'll give you forward motion away from these guys, so I can kind of dodge shots effectively. I can control the distance better. If I'm pointed at them, I kind of have to sail into the enemy. I could actually... This guy's just sitting there. If I can get that York out of here, I'd prefer to do that. There we go. Alright.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Off to a great start.
It's always hard to tell when these ships are backing up. I mean, Colorado's very slow in general. And then backing up is even slower. Let's see what happens. Do you have Fletcher fully upgraded yet? Yeah, I got... All my 2.7s are fully upgraded now. We could play a Fletcher if you guys want to see that. That's a fun ship. Alright.
Enemy battleship detected.
British cruisers. Yeah, they said
Enemy
Q&A
heavily damaged.
within the last day or two. They're not coming in 2019, so I'd expect to see them sometime next year. If I had to put $5 on it, I would say once the Germans are in the game, then we'll get the full Soviet lines introduced in the same style that they're doing these. Kind of one line at a time. Over the course of, you know, 4.5 months, which would take us through the end of the year. So, again, I have no information on it, but that's my assumption as to what's going to happen. Alright, so... You can see we're down to one ship over here. He's leaving. No, he's actually going into it. Alright, I'm gonna try and help over here. Because this, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 ships over there. We killed the Colorado, or our team killed him. And that destroyer, if they do well, they can finish him off. Oh. Not need to be this broadside. See, that's what I'm talking about earlier. Like, those front guns are catching up, so there's no reason for me to be I don't need to be anywhere near this broadside to this guy as I am. And you need to go forward to turn. That's another tip. I'm like sitting there like, why is nothing happening? Alright, so at this angle you can shoot HE at me, which I don't really care.
The ship is on fire.
If this hipper wants to sit still and duel me in an open water engagement, it's not going to last very long doing it. I do want to keep this guy alive as much as possible. So, I mean, you got 3 ships down there, they're not really doing much. So they're not pushing their side that they're strong on as aggressively as they probably should be. This guy, I can damage him at that angle, but if he goes, I'm kind of waiting to see if he goes full broadside where I can hit him harder.
All stations requesting fire on the
Now that
designated
Myoko
target.
turned further, I can't really... Well, he's... And this guy right here. Alright. Killing Atlantas is a public service. This is extremely dangerous what this guy's doing. You cannot be sitting still against the battleship like this. You know, we haven't made him pay for it yet, but that's just a matter of either me aiming better or the RNG cooperating a little bit more.
Fighter airborne.
What's he doing? Yeah, that ship needs to be at full speed and then angling steeply towards me to be minimizing the damage these shots can do. I mean, he's at a 45-degree angle roughly, but with these caliber guns, if I can actually hit him, which thus far I haven't really done a great job of doing, but it's not easy to shoot all of those islands like that when you can't really see. I mean, that should be a kill shot there. This Atlanta's gonna have a hard time one-on-one versus me. What the hell? Alright. Well, he's dead either way. Magi's a Fusil, it's been on the juice, yeah. I mean, a Magi is an absolute beast of a ship. How many Atlantas do they have? The thing about this ship is the biggest caliber guns. Obviously, that's a huge problem to get shot by these things. And if the RNG rolls your way and you get a bunch of citadels in this thing, that's how you get 200k games. What happened to them? What are you talking about? The British destroyers?
Fighter returning to
They're just kind of, they're releasing things. We talked about it earlier. I think those ships are really hard to play. That's not going to do anything. So rather than frustrate everyone and have them say the British cruisers suck because they don't understand the game mechanics very well, I think they're just letting players get a little bit better before they introduce them.
all stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
I mean, if you play against Danae right now, and unless the player knows what they're doing, you're gonna kick the shit out of that thing, because it only shoots AP, so you have to really understand the shell selection on your own ship. And then they're extremely lightly armored. They're all light cruisers, so you need to understand armor angling, vision control. There's a lot of different mechanics that you need to understand to play those ships well. And as you can see by just jumping into any random match, most players don't understand the mechanics of the game very well, so I think they're just letting players kind of get a little bit better before they put it in like a really challenging line. I mean, I would think I could do fine in them. I'm sure most of my viewers, who tend to be better than average players, would do fine in them. That's not the issue, but this guy's gonna get wrecked. Oh. Only got one. That's pretty lucky. And obviously I'm just chatting with you guys. You'd be wanting to shoot upon reload playing this optimally. I mean, I'm not holding these shots for any reason other than I'm talking. I'm trying to think and talk at this minute. Think and shoot at the same time, and talk and shoot. It can be difficult.
Attention, reporting a target position.
Amagi is another ship that I believe has turtleback armor, so this is... If you want to go for citadels on this, you should be shooting them more in the deck area as opposed to the side. I'm not 100% sure about that, but that's my belief. Just want some content. Yeah, I mean, the Germans are almost in, and then, like I say, I suspect the Soviets to be coming after that. And then we'll get the British cruisers, and then the French lines, and then there's plenty of other ships coming, so... That's kind of the one advantage of these so-called early access things, is it keeps it fresh over time. I think that's the goal, is to space out the new content release, so it keeps you interested enough, but it doesn't get too stale. So that's the goal. Whether they're doing it well or not is up for you to decide. But in my mind, if you don't have all the tier 7s unlocked and maxed and purchased, then you still have stuff to do in the game right now. And even for me, like, I have all the ships purchased and in the port and all that, but what can I do? I can work on my game. You know, I definitely have a lot of areas that I can improve in. So instead of grinding lines trying to get the ships unlocked so I can get videos up for you guys to check them out, now I can kind of actually figure out how to play the ships as well as I possibly can.
Our team has taken the lead.
Like how they're adding more missions too. Yeah, I mean, I think they're doing a lot of really cool stuff with that sort of stuff. I think in general, besides the crate issue, I think Wargaming is doing a very good job with this game. So I'm very happy with how it's turning out. It's been a lot of fun for me to play. I'm assuming if you like the game enough to watch someone else playing it, that you probably agree with me for the most part. It hasn't been perfect, but overall it's been pretty good. And he angles right when that would have hit. So, I mean, you know, this wasn't what I would consider to be a massively effective game, but we do have just shy of 100k here. So this ship, just by staying alive, you're going to do a lot of damage. And again, I would have liked to play the weak side, which is a little slow in the uptake for whatever reason. But that's how, if you want to get big damage games on this map Haven, play your team's weak side. If you spawn up there, play this side, and if you spawn over here, play up there. But you got to do it very smartly and just be willing to kite away and abandon the flank when the flank's lost. That should cause a little bit of pain, I would think. Oh, he's gonna beach. Alright, we got 6 on that. That wasn't horrible. This is why you don't damage con 1 fire. Alright, he finally got it out, but if you have 3-4 fires on your ship like that, nobody even has to shoot at you. You're just gonna die, you know. So you got 1 fire on your battleship. Don't worry about it.
Enemy battleship foundered.
So that's the Magi. We'll do some more. Maybe I'll play that again here. Well, I'll switch off Magi and whatever else you guys like to play. You want to see Fletcher first? We can try that one. Play your favorite, the Iowa. You could play an Iowa game. I mean, I'm planning on playing for another hour and a half, somewhere in that range. So I'll bounce back and forth between the Amagi and some other stuff. Why don't we do Fletcher, since we've been doing battleships so far. Kind of shake it up. Again, that wasn't by any means a bad Amagi game, but you know, that didn't send a tingle up my leg. And again, it was just I turned left at the beginning instead of turning right, which is what I would have wanted to do. But first, I was reading the chat and I didn't notice what map I was on and where I was right off the bat, so it was just kind of a misplay. Put us out of position. Is Halsey my captain? Not currently on this one. I believe he's going to be my commander on the USN. No, currently I have Burke. I'm playing around with both of them still, but I have them both at 11 points. But my intention is to run Halsey as the main guy and then have Burke as an inspiration. I haven't 100% ruled Burke out yet, but I do think Halsey is probably going to win the fight, or the competition. What's the best chance to get a German BB? German crates? I think the odds are probably better in the German big crate, but I don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, the best way to get the ships is to wait 6 weeks from Monday. Then you'll have access to all of them for free. I mean, to me, buying an insignia with a Deutschmark, which insignias are extremely hard to get, and they're going to be extremely valuable when you get commanders that you want to max, that to me is worth a lot more than getting a battleship just a little bit earlier than... I'm going to get all the battleships no matter what, barring a catastrophe in my personal life. You know, it's 100% guaranteed that I'm going to get those ships. So, do I want them early? Yeah, that'd be cool. But do I want them more than insignia, or a bunch of promotion orders, or premium time, or whatever else? No, not necessarily. There we go. So, it's all personal preference. I'm not telling you guys not to get the German crates. If that's what you want to do with the Deutsche marks, it's a perfectly fine thing to do.
All stations,
Yes.
proceed to capture that area. Main turret critically damaged. The ship is on fire.
That
Critical
sucks.
engine damage.
I was hoping to not have to burn the smoke
Problem
there.
solved, sir.
Now we have no one to spot. This sucks. So, if someone could spot that guy, then I'd be perfectly fine using the smoke. But nobody's gonna spot it here, so this is just 100% waste. But I had to use it because the York and the Lightning combined could have taken me out, no problem. And I'm sitting broadside on the smoke, which is a major problem. That's for destroyer play. That's my biggest thing I need to personally work on. You should never be broadside in the smoke like this.
Requesting support.
That lightning should be visible here. No, he's not in the cap. So what you need to notice is B is not contested, so the lightning's not in there. The York's not in a position to pressure me. I'm outside of his sonar range, so I'm going to attempt to cap. The smoke's going to be here for another minute 30. If I do get pressured, I can move forward into the smoke. But again, this guy's not going to be able to spot through the smoke. I need him to be shooting. Alright, he is shooting, so that's a plus. And he's shooting AP, which is a good plus. He's not hitting them, unfortunately. What's your captain inspirations on the Fletcher? So I believe Swirsky and Burke, but I can check after this if you remind me. I can tell you what my intended build is. Let me see what I wrote down so far.
All stations, reporting the position of a strategic
Halsey, I
target.
got Swirsky and Burke is my intention as of right now, so. Get some stealth component. I mean, the USN line isn't the stealthiest in the game, so. I'm just trying to keep this guy lit. Now that the smoke's fading, maybe this guy can spot him on his own. He's sitting there broadside, though. I don't have a lot of confidence in this guy, plus he's missing shots. So, yeah, this guy's the only one that can shoot at me. I'm gonna. Oh no, I'm getting radared. So the lightning's back, or sonared. So I think the lightning's right around this corner, probably. Yeah. Oh, that Atlanta actually might be using radar over there. But you do not want to be in radar / sonar range, because that allows this guy to shoot at me now, which is a problem. That's fine.
Requesting support.
Yeah, I think the Atlanta was actually using his full-on radar. Alright, so we have this side. They probably need help over there. C, they're not contesting it. So I'm not inclined to help people that aren't inclined to help my team. So I'm going to go over here and see what we can do. Again, we have smoke on a cooldown. For destroyers, you need to be very careful when your smoke is on cooldown because that's your main defense system. So I have a minute until I can't really play that aggressively, but potentially I could get behind this island, for instance. These guys are all spotted without me needing to spot for them, so I can get behind cover, hit these guys for some damage without the smoke. That's my plan anyways. We'll see if it works. Oops. Or I'm going to hit the beach. Yeah, alright. Well, not recommended. Alright, so this guy, let's see what we can do. And I can... Oops, that AP. So, maybe right here I can shoot. I think I'll be able to. But the one ship I could shoot at is no longer detected, so... This position lost its luster pretty quickly, unfortunately. Oop. Yeah.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
I'm not saying these guys down here who are in a fight for the life need to be focused on spotting for me by any means. I get it. I'm not expecting them to. But we're actually gonna lose this game pretty hard. Everyone's low health. This flank's completely collapsed. This guy over here, I think I have 2 ships down there that are so far out of range I can't even see them. I'm going half speed for some reason. So we have 2 objectives, but I don't think we're going to be able to hold that. Actually, these 2 are low here. If they can kill those 2 destroyers, we might be okay. We got one of them. Lightning got the New Orleans. This guy, I think that's my buddy from earlier. Alright, we gotta... I've been out of the fight for way too long.
Engine boost activated.
It wasn't by design. I was trying to get that Mayoko out by getting in a position where I could shoot him without a smoke, but it didn't happen. So now I'm just gonna go wrangle this York and see if I can kill him. He's actually spotted me already. As soon as this guy turns, we're gonna pepper him with AP. Actually, there he goes. Actually, it's turning the other way. So he's obviously trying to torp me. You just gotta recognize it and then you can deal with it.
Direct front.
Wow, he missed him. Yeah, this guy has no chance.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
You know, once you miss those torps, that guy broadside at that distance, I really have to screw that up. Now, I did take a shot from the rear. I don't know what happened there. Presumably that destroyer that's capping A got a shot on me. So you need to be aware of combined fire coming in at you, but that York, one-on-one, that York is not going to win that fight if those torps miss. So, what's up, Owen? How are you doing? Your name is the Engur Haziel. Probably butchered that, but welcome aboard. Majestic, good to see you. If you're new, welcome aboard to the channel. Good. You've been having issues with non-existent airplanes, spotted them. No, I don't think that's... What's up, Sandy? How'd you change your screen name?
Engine boost deactivated.
I don't think they're undetected. Planes have their own detection range. And so there's probably instances where you can't see the plane. The planes can spot you despite island cover, which I think a lot of players don't understand that. Like, if there's a plane behind this island and I'm within that detection range, he can still spot me. Whether or not I can see that plane, I'm not 100% sure about that. Alright, let's see. Now, these guys are so far away, I don't know if they can spot these guys. So I'm just going to keep these guys lit for now. Once this guy goes down, I'm going to open up on this Amagi. How far away? These guys are 19 cam. See, I don't know if these guys can spot this guy or not. Nope. And if they can't spot him, then that's going to be another waste of smoke. So.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
But I do need to try, because I don't want to get... I'm almost within this guy's secondary range, which is going to be a major problem. And he's coming for me, so... Shit. So what you need to do on these high-tier battleships is assume they have the 3-kilometer detection mod on there. Yep, that's what I was worried about. This guy way back there doing nothing can't spot this guy, so... Fuck. That's another wasted smoke. That's just an absolute disaster for USN destroyers if he wastes 2 smokes. It's really unfortunate. This guy needs to be up by about 5 kilometers. Yeah, he's 3.5 now, so I got about 10 seconds till I can shoot this guy. Yeah, this guy's gonna be able to blast me. Problem, once he punches through that smoke, I'm going to be within detection range, just surface detection, so... There's a speed boost, definitely needed that.
Engine boost activated.
Alright, I just gotta run. Luckily we're up big on score, and those guys over there are so far away that I don't think they can lose the game even if they tried. Because these two over here wouldn't be able to catch up to them. And I do have some torps, so let's go ahead and see if I can get this guy. But I'm not planning on shooting this guy. If I can get him out of my detection range, then we'll reassess the situation.
The ship is on fire!
But the odds of me surviving are extremely low. That guy might bite those, though. Those are looking actually fairly decent. If he turns hard right, he might miss most of them. So now we're undetected. Man, we might get a couple. So he damaged Khan there, so now this is when I want to hit a fire. Of course, this island's right there. But if we can hit a fire here, 2 fires, that'd be lights out for this guy. I don't care about dying at this point, because again, I don't think we can lose this game. Nice. So the one fire is not enough to kill him, but it's gonna definitely do a lot of damage to him. Trying to kill me. That's pretty bold, man.
Engine boost deactivated.
You gotta... Look at this guy. Is he trying to ram him? Alright, we'll let him ram him. Let's see what happens. Nice! Got him. Try to apply the mechanics. Yeah, I really don't think that mechanics are bugged when it comes to the airplane spotting. I really don't. I just think if you can't see the plane, it's possible the plane can see you. I can try and look it up here. Detection. So, I don't know, that was... Again, wasting those smokes in the Fletcher is a major problem. Still did alright, but a lot of those points came from those torp strike at the end there. View range, no, that's not it. Let's see. All aircraft have a surface detectability range of 8 km and an air detectability range of 7. So if the plane's not within 8 kilometers of you, you can't see the plane, but if you fire your gun and the plane's within your firing range, then the plane can see you at that point. So I believe, I'm not... Or, I'm sorry, if you're within the air detectability range of that plane, so... I don't know, I mean, it's confusing, but I don't think it's bugged. It's just... I got bad news for you. Alright, so we'll do another Amagi. And then you guys can let me know what you want to see after that. If you drop your plane before you die, yep, it will remain in play for as long as the plane's duration, or until it gets shot down. So it's That's something I try and do if you have a plane available and you notice that you're on the verge of death. Fire the plane off. You don't, planes or consumables aren't part of your service cost or whatever it's called, the built-in fees to play. Play with the Ubari, Jesus. Nuremberg, oh yeah, we should do a Nuremberg. That's a good one. But anyway, I'm 99% sure consumables, you can use them without paying for them, so there's no reason not to use the plane. If you're about to die. I wouldn't use the plane just because you have it. Especially not if you're playing a battleship. Then you want to use the planes a little bit more judiciously, but... Yeah, Nuremberg. Alright, that's a good idea. We'll play that one. And we can try out that goofball Luchins. See if he's worth a damn. Alba, we could maybe do an Alba. I only got Luchins level 6, but he's probably better than level 9 Sheer. Look at the team. Oh, yep.
Action stations.
Lo and behold. Alright, well you better be careful on that Amagi, man, because... Or not the Amagi, the Magami. That's all I got to say. Bolt explosions should have more of an effect on the map. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind visually if it did something different. Oh, there... Nope, that's not him. Thought that was Mr. Berlin for a minute. Ooh!
Bullseye!
Bullseye! That's what you don't want to have happen. So again, this is what you need to be paying attention to on the map. Keep an eye on that eye with guns. If he's not pointing his guns at me, he's not currently a threat, but... There he goes. So I'm trying to angle against these guys is my point, but the minute that Iowa starts deciding he wants to kill me, that becomes a much larger threat. Completely whiffed the shot on the New Orleans, that's too bad. Yep, can't hit him. These German ones are really hard to hit at range because they're so slow. Try that. I really don't know how far to lead these guys at 17 kilometers yet. That might be decent.
Enemy battleship detected.
Oh, and they ran into each other. That's too bad. And these are really long shots. It's pretty... Alright. Nope, missed him by an inch.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Like, I'd love to shoot that Iowa. He's just kind of parked right behind that island. You try and let me be alive. No, you do it. I don't mind you getting into games because you're not a dick about it. And he angled before I could smoke him. That's too bad.
Attention.
Yeah, if
Reporting
we would have got the
target
full shove
penetrated.
on him, that could have been the end. Decent damage there. We need to clear this flank, because the problem in the middle spawn here is if you got a lot of spots you can get shot at. This King George is rushing in Iowa. It's an interesting play. Let's see what this guy is doing. Man. 2 in a row. I thought I had all the guns on.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Something you do want to keep in mind, if ships are turning a lot, that's going to slow them down. He wasn't turning a lot, he was just kind of zigging and zagging a little bit. Alright.
Thank you. I owe you one. All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
That's too bad, I needed to kill him. Should be able to... Oh, wow. Oh, he had a flood on him. Nice. This KV... No, the King George... I might actually be able to save him if I can spot this guy. This is a good time to use your aircraft.
Fighter airborne.
I would have thought it would have been. And you can tell... Look on your ships. When you have the aircraft on there, you can see which way they're pointing. That'll tell you which way they're going to come off. You can actually line your ship up and get them going in the correct direction. You can see like he went southward and he's going around the long way, so it's going to take a little longer for this plane to spot this New Orleans over here. Again, my goal is to keep that King George alive if possible. What the hell was that? No. I might have actually clicked him off of selection right as I shot. Alright.
Target penetrated.
I need him dead. No, I didn't kill him. That's too bad. I mean... A one-shot King George, he could have healed himself at least once, probably twice, depending on what his consumables. I mean, keeping the guns in play is your main priority. Man, this guy's getting kind of annoying. Billy Longshot. But even if he couldn't heal himself, like, let's just say he got one salvo off. That's a potential 10-15k damage he could have done. Alright. Playing a little sloppily against this guy. He can actually do a fair amount of damage, so...
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Don't want to take American heavy cruisers lightly like that. But I was just trying to make the point about the KVG. I mean, if I could have kept him alive, it would have been preferable. And as soon as we avoid this island, I'll evaluate the game. But it looks like they have 4 ships clustered up. We have 2 over there. No, 3 over there. Alright, so they got a Magi, Colorado. Stylo's a good player, we know that. And an Indianapolis. What do we have?
I need support.
So we got New Orleans, Hipper, and an Iowa. Oh, and he did get Stylo off the board. So in that case, I'm not as worried. What am I evaluating? Do I need to go defend the base, or do I need to get more centrally located to put pressure on their base and just cover more map? If that flank over there looks like they're gonna fold, and I can't really check their health yet. I can check that guy's health. He's about 2/3. But let's say I knew they're all low health, or the ships look like they were mismatched. Then I need to go back and defend this for sure. But because they look like they're going to be able to hold for a while, I'm going to play more of a central position and get into position to threaten them from... I'm trying to create a crossfire if possible, so if I had to sail down to the base, then I'd be essentially firing at the same angle as the rest of my team over there, which isn't a crossfire.
Requesting assistance.
Now this guy's sailing right towards me, so he's kind of negating my crossfire potential. But I can change my position. He can't really... He's fighting for his life, I'm not. So it's my responsibility to create the angles. Need the loo. Zero out of prevent. Well, nobody can't prevent that. Alright, what do we got here? So now that you're probably thinking that's not much of a crossfire if I'm shooting them head on, but you know, that's just me getting acquainted with him. Now that he's full broadside, I mean, I could potentially eliminate him right here once we get the rest of those guns on. Shoot more middle ship. Just I want to get these shots on. There we go.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
So at this point, we're up quite a bit of points. You know, what do they have? Colorado. Colorado's got the same guns as the Iowa. I don't think it has as many. But you can't sleep on a Colorado. A Colorado can definitely hurt you. The Indianapolis, again, has good guns.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
These guys are actually lower health than I thought. So now that I can evaluate them fully, this guy's gonna die, this guy's probably gonna die. So I am actually gonna... This Norlands. Ideally the Norlands would go get in the base.
All forces, capture the base. All stations, capture the base.
Not that I don't know if they have enough time to win this game or not, but this guy doesn't need to fire. He's not gonna kill these guys. But if you put pressure on them, then they have to turn back, and if they have to turn back, then I have broadside shots at them. But because these guys are both gonna die, I'm gonna go down here, and that's gonna create distance. So this guy, again, I'd like to use him as bait. If he just kept his guns silent, that would force him to go over here. Could just pay attention and actually kill this guy. That's another option. But you'll see I am turning the guns. Now, again, there's no reason for me to open up my firing angle and get those back guns until they're ready to bear. Alright. So yeah, this definitely isn't a guaranteed win. It'd be a bad loss if we lost this. I'd be pretty pissed off at myself. Alright. Decent. Got a longboard. Not me. Alright. I mean, this guy, he can hit me in the sides. Even if he's citadeling me, though, I mean, he's got a 15-second reload. I'm not concerned about sitting broadside to him. I'm trying to get around this island as quick as I can so I can kill this guy. I was trying to keep him alive, obviously, but that wasn't in the cards. And he did kill the Colorado. Alright, well. But here's what I'm talking about now. He's going back to defend the base, so he's going to have to be broadside to me for the rest of the game until he kills this guy, which is why I want him to stop shooting, go unspotted, and sit back here. That'll keep this guy broadside for long enough that there's no way he can survive, or he's just going to concede while we cap. But by shooting, he's being reset here. And if he actually kills this, if this guy kills him, the odds of us losing go from like points, 2% to 10%, so it's still not dire odds at that point, but things can happen. I mean, you can get detonated, guys. If he blows up your magazine, you can one-shot these ships, so... mean, they're both low health, so I'm not... Whatever. Go ahead and shoot them. Try and get the kill. Can't even hit them. I try and not comment on anyone else's aim. I mean, I wouldn't like it if every time I missed a shot, people would be like, "This guy sucks." All right, so I mean, that's basically what you got to do to close out games. Just you're gonna win more games if you evaluate the situation and make decisions based on that evaluation, as opposed to just driving straight into them. Stylo, not your best game, buddy. But he was in the bathroom. I'm actually gonna go to the bathroom myself. I'll be back in about 2 minutes at the most. Probably 1 minute and 10 seconds. Time me. Go. Alright. So if you missed it earlier, we did get the German commanders yesterday. We do have a request for the Nuremberg, so we'll play that one next. So I got Bay, Celiacs, and Luchins yesterday. These two are the campaign reward crates, and then this one I got the crate that was on sale after I got both of these guys because I was feeling pretty lucky. 62 seconds? Oh, I got 62 and 48. Which was it? But for like 2 months plus, I'd gotten 2 commanders that I didn't have, and then in a matter of 2 minutes, I got both of these guys, and then I went around and got this guy too. I do have a container unopened. I can, if that's causing you guys consternation, I can get rid of that. These daily ones I don't really care about. I mean, they do have a chance for a promotion order, so why not level 7, get the inspirations? Well, I'll tell you why. Because we got the German destroyers coming out next week, and I want to get Bay to 11 ideally. So I only have 35. So that'd be 15. I'd be down to 20 if I got all these guys to 7. And I don't need to play him. I wasn't planning on playing any German cruisers in the short term. But you're right. I mean, it would definitely make the build a lot stronger. That's your main goals are to get the inspirations. So that's level 7 and then level 11 are your 2 sweet spots. But it's just I need the promotion orders. That's the only reason. So here's the build. AP damage cruiser. A 1.5% increase is not. It's going to be like 50 per salvo. So it's these aren't really that effective. I think people think this one is extremely ingenious. Is my favorite cruiser perk. Getting the early warning indicator extremely strong, and the traverse never hurts. Traverse on German cruisers isn't great, and enhanced module protection against HE damage. So all those are pluses. The problem with this is extremely defensive build. Here's how I have it spec'd out. Max speed, enhanced rudder shift. Rudder shift is good for these German cruisers because you need to be able to dodge. This one's strong. This one, someone explained this to me. Decreases incoming damage to your ship 1%. Decreases incoming damage for your cruisers 2%. Plus you get all this other stuff. This is always here. What does this do? Does someone know? Can I play the Fubuki? Yeah, I could probably. Yamato and Scotty. Yeah, those are good. I don't have Yamato. Scott's obviously a strong one. But this, I don't know, this is another perk I think someone needs to point out to Wargaming that's completely wasted, unless I'm not reading it properly. And then here I got another ship steering. This one's viable. I don't know, this is definitely not a final build, obviously I just got this guy and this is just what I put together in 5 minutes earlier today. But we can play the Nuremberg. Let's see, I haven't played the Nuremberg for about a month, so. I'm sure it's vastly improved. The reason I didn't mind it before, though, it kind of forced you to play a good cruiser game. Like the Vanguard forces you to play a good battleship game. Having the bad angles out the front, I mean, obviously it didn't help a lot of players. But for those players that don't understand armor angling and kiting, forcing you to angle your armor and kite is never a bad thing. Can I play the Baltimore? Yeah, that's an option. Love the Japanese destroyers, period. Yeah, I do too. I just got Tanaka recently, and I'm still working on leveling him up.
Action stations.
That's the one problem with having so many commanders I didn't have for a while, roughly about half of them. Because I kept spending all my promotion orders on certain commanders, and now I have all these commanders that I've gotten recently that I can't really promote, and they're all really low levels, so they're essentially not worth a damn at the moment. Yeah, Akatsuki and Kagero are both extremely nasty, I'd agree with you there. I still haven't gotten the Kagero video up yet, that's planned to be up soon. But Kagero gets a bad rap because that's one less launcher. That's a mistake though, those Kagero torps are vicious.
Enemy battleship detected.
Absolutely vicious. I had no idea until I actually got the ship. I knew it was a strong ship, but wow, it sucks. But I had no idea how strong it was until I actually got it. Kagero's a beast.
Enemy battleship sighted.
Alright, so again, you guys have heard me talk about it. German cruisers, it's all about cell selection. As long as this guy's relatively broadside, we're going to shoot AP. But the minute they're not broadside, you need to switch over to HE. Otherwise, they're going to have really low damage output games. The HE shells pretty much suck on these. Let's see here. Come on. Whatever. I wanted to shoot that guy, but can't get within range. About to finish American Battleship line. I mean, they're all, I think, I don't really have a line in this game I don't like, so for me it would come down to what kind of ship you like. Or let's say you've only played battleships so far, maybe try a different class. Like, I think all three classes are fun. You're going to be a more well-rounded player if you get good at all of them. I know a lot of people just like to play battleships or just like to play destroyers or whatever. That's fine if that's what you're into. But me personally, I like them all, and I think getting familiar with all the lines makes you a better player. You kind of understand what the other players are trying to do. Alright, how does this guy... Oh, he did spot me. I was gonna say... But yeah, if you didn't play this ship before, like I couldn't even fire these back guns at this angle. So that is a big improvement. Look how steep. I mean, they're still not massively steep. Looks like right about there. That's a lot better penetration. even there, you can see yeah, so these shells can't pen them. It's 45-degree angle is kind of the magic number. After that, I think it's your odds go way down, or it might even be auto bounce. I can't remember, but these German, like 2 or 3 cells there, I couldn't even penetrate that guy because he was just slightly angled. So
Enemy battleship sighted.
IJN cruisers are awesome. That's one of my favorite lines. I think the Japanese ships in general are all really fun. If I had to pick one line that I could only play one nation's, or one, I think one nation, it would be the Japanese ships for sure. Now this guy, I'm being very careful watching his guns because you can see I'm perfectly broadside to him. He's dealing with something else, which is why I'm content to do this. If he even begins to move those guns, I need to move immediately. You need to be extremely careful. Like that ship, firing his front turrets can one-shot me, no problem. No problem whatsoever. Alright, here's a broadside Arizona. And now this is a sweet spot. I'm not detected. So I basically have free firing range. You can see I got a 3K salvo on that. Half my shells shattered on the island. There's that's about a 5-6K, somewhere in there. This is where you get your damage. That's unfortunate. Actually, I do have a plane. But because I'm spotted now, I need to be a lot more careful. And he is aiming at me.
Airborne.
But massive amounts of damage. That sucks. He couldn't sink me here. Oh, he missed. But if you find these broadside targets, and I don't think I have the pen to shoot them waterline, maybe I do, maybe I don't. Upper hull into superstructure, 5K every 5 seconds, I'll take that on any ship. Massive DPM. Nuremberg is a huge DPM beast. You just need to look for situations to get it singing. I mean, that guy got absolutely destroyed in the matter of 30 seconds. So that's what you're looking for. About 80K from the Iowa. Yeah, Iowa's fun, man. I mean, I just don't play it because I know most Iowa players are using max sims, and I don't like to be at a massive disadvantage intentionally. But you can still have good games even if the commander's not super great. It's just a little bit more luck involved. So there, the guns did cut off. So yeah, forward firing, they're still not amazing gun arcs, but they're a lot better than they were. You can see there, 2 overpens and 1 bounce, so yeah, missed that guy. Now he's going broadside again. All this guy has to do is angle, and my DPM goes way down on him. But the minute he turns broadside like that, I can just punish him again. Looks like he's probably trying to get in just to support me. And now I'm probably gonna die. I should die if these guys can hit the shots. So what happened, I pushed into this guy so he could crossfire me. So that was dumb. What the fuck just shot me over here? And I didn't even... Wow, I was not paying attention. I didn't not even know this guy existed. And I was watching the map a lot. That was just blinders on. That sucks. But I wouldn't even consider that a good Nuremberg game, and you can see, what's the Nuremberg's health? 20K maybe? Let's see. Nuremberg. 27K, so we got 3 times the damage, no problem. And a lot of it was just opening up on that Arizona when he was broadside. Those are the situations you're looking for. So Nuremberg is an awesome ship, Königsberg is an awesome ship. What's up, Shermanator? How you doing? I mean, those two were probably... I don't want to say they're the highlight of the German cruiser line, because that kind of sucks. But the Hipper, I like the Hipper a lot. It's a hard ship. The York is a hard ship. They're both good if you play it well. Nuremberg is a beast, so Königsberg is a beast. Only American commander you have is Dewey. Oh god. Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate. It's just part of the game. Like prior to last night, I had German cruisers, German battleships, and American battleships that I had generics on. So that sucks. I mean that's a big disadvantage. Von Mueller seems to be the right guy for the cruisers. I'd agree. He'd be my preference, but I'm not. Oh, I didn't even have. Oh, that sucks. I didn't even get to try my new guy out. Luchin's. This guy is the crankiest looking dude I've ever seen. Like if this dude was trying to look at that guy's look that he's giving you. I would shit my pants if someone was looking at me like that. Kagero. All right, let's do Baltimore. Then we'll do Kagero, then Baltimore. Königsberg's the mighty fist of God. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do those and then maybe another Amagi, and we'll see how we're doing on time. So Tanaka again, I'm 1 point away from getting him up to 11, which would be preferable. Let me see what I got for a build. Tanaka. So my plan with Tanaka currently is Swirsky and Bay, and I did get Bay again, so yeah, that's gonna be the ultimate stealth build. Those guys. And then I got Subsurface Venture. I got another concealment perk here, which again, as we level him up, is going to go up even more. This one I flip back and forth on, range versus reload. The range is already really good, so currently I'm leaning towards this, and I think I'll probably stick towards that. This one's decent. This one I could go either way on too. And then extra engine boost consumable is pretty powerful. I like that. So I just got him legendary when I bought those 10 crates and got all the duplicates. So that's my build. Yeah, but I definitely, now that I have Bay, I'll get Swirsky and Bay on there. And by the way, all those accommodations I got from the campaign went right into Swirsky. So Swirsky's a level 2 legendary now. I would definitely recommend boosting him if you have him. Swirsky I have, or planning on having, on about 2/3 of my ship builds. So extremely powerful commander. Because his camo applies to all classes of ships. So Swirsky's probably the most valuable commander in the game, in my opinion. What's nice about tier 4 and 5 short wait times? I don't typically have bad wait times at tier 7. Like if I'm playing late at night sometimes. I think it might depend on the system too, I don't know. Luchins wasn't a fan of the ruling party of Germany at the time. Interesting guy. Yeah, I should check into his history. I don't really know much about him except for he's got a killer scowl. What's up, Knight? What's my favorite ship? I don't know if I could pick that. Magami, maybe? I don't know. There's so many ships I like. I don't know if I could even come close to picking one. Alright, so what do we got? Akatsuki, Fletcher. First things first with these, you need to check the enemy destroyers. Then I need to check for radar. So they do have a Baltimore. Baltimore is the biggest threat by far, then that Fletcher, then the Akatsuki. After that, I'm not afraid of anything in this game. The only other ships I need to be afraid of would be because I messed up, so. Now I think Japanese destroyers do a little bit better in capture the base. I think American destroyers do a little bit better in domination, just because
Set a smoke screen.
where the destroyers go is a little bit more predictable in domination mode. So I'm trying to get into scouting range is what I'm trying to do. I should have the best detection in the game, so barring a plane coming unexpectedly and spotting me, I should be able to outspot anyone. George is probably going to park behind that island, I would assume. Well, there's the Baltimore. Oh my god, it's Stylo. You fucker. Oh. I should have known. I don't mind you trying to get into games, but if you're picking ships that are an extremely hard counter to the one I'm playing, that's a little suspect. Alright, so we're gonna stay the hell away from Stylo. He's technically a stream sniper. He does a very good job of... He turns off the stream so he can't see where I am, and... He does the stream sniping gig about as respectably as he can, or respectfully as he can. And he's a good guy. He's always making hilarious comments. He's on the Discord. I mean, he's definitely a friend of the channel, so I don't necessarily get mad at Stylo for doing that. But when you're playing a Baltimore in a game where I'm playing a Kagero, that's a little dickish. Who the fuck is Swirsky? Swirsky's the Polish destroyer commander. He's awesome. If you get the Bisko, I think I might call the Blaskovitska the biscuit for now on. What do you guys think? So yeah, we haven't done anything. But what happened was I got turned around from my opening move by that Baltimore. It doesn't matter if it's Stylo or someone stream sniping you or not. You cannot get within the Baltimore's radar range, period. If you do, you should lose the game.
On the designated target.
It's a massive, massive mistake. And what you're trying to do in these IJN destroyers is not get detected. So by going within the radar range of a ship,
Break through to the base.
then you're kind of countering yourself very
Torpedoes to
effectively.
port.
What? After the stream, can you play? No, after the stream I'm going to be done for a while, so... If you want to play with me, I usually post in my Discord when I'm playing with friends. I just don't get a lot of time to do it, just because the time I do have to play the game, I can't really record videos if I'm playing with other people, and recording videos and then putting them together takes a lot of time, so... When I do get a chance to play with other people, though,
Torpedoes to port.
I usually post in the Discord. Alright, this is
Smoke generator started.
should be the end of my game. I have no support over here. If I can turn this guy away and then run, that's my plan.
Torpedoes dead ahead.
Enemy battleship
Smoke
sunk.
screen set.
But now that he used his torps, I'm not as an immediate danger.
Enemy cruiser detected.
Do have a little bit of time to evaluate. Potentially, I do have some backup coming as well, so that's actually... Once they engage the Megami and keep him busy, then I'm gonna go try and get that Akatsuki out of there.
Reporting the target position.
Oh shit.
Engine boost activated.
That would have been a disaster.
Much obliged.
Alright, so I
Torpedoes direct front.
thought that was pretty much a guaranteed loss, or at least me dying, but things just kind of worked out.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
Once this guy spent his torps, then my danger of being in that smoke for a little bit diminished vastly. And because I was able to sit there without being able to be one shot,
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
then I could let these guys catch up. Did one of them die? Looks like one of them's dead. So he must have been shooting that torp salvo at that other battleship. So that sucks. But again, we're playing the weak side and we're actually doing a good job. So, I mean, the rest of our team's doing the black hole strategy, sitting in the base doing nothing. So that's not helpful. And how am I getting outspotted by the Akatsuki? This guy might have Bay and Swirsky. That's interesting. This guy should not... I mean, he's got very good concealment too, but... guy's obviously got a very high level
Engine
stealth build
damage.
going.
The ship is on fire on the designated target.
Should not be able to be outspotting me
Problem
like that.
solved, sir.
I mean, I got a level 10 Swirsky. I got a level 10 Tanaka who does have that stealth perk that we looked at. I need to kill him before he takes this Iowa.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
So this guy, I'd be really surprised if he doesn't have Bay and Swirsky. Be interested to see his build. Or, I don't know. Maybe there's another way to get really good stealth like that, but I'm not aware of it. Oh, he did get Nagami? Alright. So now, unfortunately, I'm not able to screen these torps for this guy as well as I'd like. He did miss him though. Oh shit. This is the hard part about streaming. But ideally I'd be in front of this guy by about 100 meters or whatever it is. And that way I could spot the torps. I'm much more maneuverable than this guy. So like there, I can dodge these torps no problem. I gave him a little bit of a heads up just by being in front of him there, but again, I'd like to be about where that smoke is in terms of distance. This guy,
All stations requesting fire on the designated
he's doing
target.
fine. It's just unfortunate for him, he keeps using those torps a little too early. Again, long distance torps against other destroyers is basically worthless. He was trying to torp him primarily, so I get that. But in terms of threats to him, the Kagero is a much more bigger threat than the Iowa. So yeah, Kagero kicks ass. I mean, don't let anyone tell you it's a step back from the Akatsuki, because I don't agree with that at all. Low damage game, but we played that well. I think we played our role fairly well. Stylo did turn us away from our intended... I was trying to be more central and kind of scout for the early part of the match and maybe get some torp salvos in. What's Discord? Yeah, you can go, the link should be in the description down here. It's just kind of a hangout for the people that want to talk about World of Warships or whatever else. He was using the camo. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't typically run camos just because I'm a little bit lazy. He got blowed. Yeah, that was an ass kicking, man. I don't know. Try it again. Alright, so what else did you guys want to see? Oh, Baltimore. Baltimore, we can do that. Baltimore, I'm obviously running my main man, Scott. Currently I have a max camo build on him, which isn't bad at all. What do I have slated? Currently I have Swirsky, and then I would switch him to Madden Makawa, because the turret traverse on the heavy cruisers in the line is really slow. So until I get Madden, which could take a few years at this rate, I'm gonna run these two, and that gives you an excellent amount of concealment. I mean, you got a 3% plus there, 3.3. That's so it's probably gonna be about 5 per. So that's a 10% boost, let's say, if you got both these on there. That's a massive amount of concealment. You need to play 16 hours a day to get all those Deutschmarks. Yeah, it's not easy to do that. But yeah, here's how I run him. I mean, I got this one. This is a version of the Ingenious perk. It increases the incoming enemy fire dispersion. I mean, this is the only offensive build commander that has the early warning indicator on him, which that alone makes Scott the best. Then you add on this increasing the precision, which I use that as inspiration on all my cruisers. Plus you add in this legendary trait of cutting down the reload time. 3%, 5% next level. This guy is extremely strong. You got another accuracy buff here. Boost to the distance. Or no, this is the fire chance. This is the distance one. 10% distance. And you can even switch that to an HE if you want. So Norman Scott is... I think I said Swirsky was the best commander. Norman Scott's probably the best commander, and then Swirsky after that. Can he still unlock the Atlanta? No, that was the campaign reward ship for the last campaign. And not to be a downer for you, but I hope they don't ever release it again. I hope the campaign reward ships are unique for those moments in time. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if they release the Atlanta at some point down the line. You'd say is the best U.S. commander, cruiser commander? Yeah. Hands down. Kincaid, better than Dewey, of course. Kincaid, I would consider using his sonar reload reduction on potentially the German destroyers. The problem is, I think using Togo, I'd have to see how the numbers pan out, because I think the reduction is the same per level. So right now I have Togo at level 8, for instance. He reduces all consumables reload by 2%. Kincaid I don't have, but he's a level 1 for all intents and purposes. He reduces sonar reload by negative, or by 0.3%. So I believe if I get Kincaid up to level 8, he would reduce the reload of the sonar by 2%, which would be equal to Togo, who does the reload for all consumables. So why would you not use Togo over Kincaid? So I don't... Kincaid seems worthless.
Enemy battleship detected.
I can wreck this guy early, that'd be nice. The Baltimore is an extremely dangerous ship to play against for destroyers and for anything else. I mean, especially someone with a build like I got. This AP is devastating. And I should be shooting this water line. If a battleship like that wants to go broadside, you can hit that citadel down there. There you see an example of that.
Capture that area.
And I pulled a little ahead, but if I stayed behind this island, I could just whittle this guy down. Be completely undetected. There's a 5K salvo with 2/3 of my guns. I mean, another citadel. Yeah, you don't want to fool around with a Baltimore. Baltimore is the highest priority target in the game, hands down. If you see a Baltimore on the enemy team, you need to kill it. It doesn't mean everyone that runs a Baltimore is going to have 150k a game.
All stations.
It's actually a very low
Position of a
DPM
strategic
ship,
target.
so getting massive damage games in this is not easy. You got to play a very good game to do it, but it can cause so many problems in short order of time. I mean, they have 3 destroyers, they have 2 now, but I mean, if those destroyers get in range like that guy, I can cause him to die at will now if someone's gonna shoot at this dude.
All stations.
Because if he gets unspotted, I can just get him spotted again. Yeah, all I have to do is sit here, and as long as they have a shot at him, he will die. Now it looks like he's going behind the island, so I'm gonna try and move forward. I think it's just shy of 10 kilometers by radar range. So
Enemy destroyer sighted.
there he drops off. We're gonna put him back on. He's just sitting there.
All stations. Concentrate fire.
Oh, he
on
is
the
moving a
target.
little bit. Yep, he was moving. Shit. So I could have potentially ended him right there. With 2 salvos, you should be able to kill that thing.
Enemy battleship sighted.
Now, you only have about 2 salvos worth of reloads before that thing runs out.
I owe you one.
So you need to have the HE loaded before you use it, and ideally you could call it to your team and say, I'm about to radar this Goomba, get ready to end him. So he pulled away there because of a couple mistakes. I thought he was sitting still, he wasn't sitting still, and you know, if you miss half your shots during the radar period, that's how they get away. But it's fine, we've reduced his health really low. I mean, he needs to play very cautiously at this point going forward, which is how you want enemy destroyers to be playing. AP on the USN, very steep. Like even that angle there, if that shot, where'd it go? If that shot actually hit him, which obviously it didn't, that would have been a penetration.
Destroyer sighted.
Because he dropped off detection, I couldn't tell where I missed him earlier, so...
Torpedoes, direct front.
Alright, this guy...
Hull breach. We're taking on water quickly.
Alright,
Problem solved, sir.
that's Ossively, obviously...
Ship is on fire.
Ossively? It's obviously very unfortunate. Wow, he backed up really quick there. So I'm actually getting massively outplayed here. And I don't need to be pushing into 5 ships like this. This is really bad. But that destroyer was making me mad. Yeah. I was hoping he was within my sonar range and could have lit him up again, but... It's going to be a short Baltimore game. Because of mistakes that I made, but you can see potentially, I mean, it can cause a lot of problems for those destroyers.
The ship is on fire.
Our team is taking the lead.
Thought I was gonna burn to death.
Problem solved, sir.
Now what I need to do is stop shooting and get undetected, and then reset my position. I mean, we're winning, so... Yeah, this is where the stealth game comes in. This is why you spec double concealment on your builds. I do have this cloud in between me and the Amagi. I should have about 5 seconds left till that guy can't see me anymore. Now we're undetected. Now I can reset, because obviously I have no health. If that shell hits me, I'm dead. Obviously nothing I can do about that. And now we're out of detection range. So I can... Pushing forward into 5 ships, extremely dumb. And I can't defend myself properly. But now because I'm undetected, I can get back into a position like behind this island where I can project force onto these guys without any
All
repercussions coming
stations
my way.
requesting fire on the designated target.
Now again, it's very late in the game. It looks like we've probably won. We have 3 of 4 objectives. We're up by 400 points and 2 or 3 ships. So that didn't end up costing us the game, but it could have been. In a much more competitive, close game, that could have definitely cost us the game. So, unfortunate turn of events there, but that's where the concealment comes in, and that's what you want to do, to stop shooting, reset the situation, let things cool down. The guns sound awesome. Oh, is Stylo back? Yep, there he is. Oh, he's in the Megami. Well, I told him earlier in Discord, if it's not the same, it's not a stream
Our
without
victory is in sight.
Stylo out there on the high seas, so. How about Icarus? We could try that. I haven't played that ship for a long time. So I don't know if I have much insight as to how to play it, but could fire it up. Yeah, 12:30. I'll play. Do 1 Icarus and then maybe Namagi to close it out, and then call it there. Baltimore reminds you of Baby Iowa. They look similar. I mean, they're both very sturdy. I get mad at Baltimores that play it like an Iowa, though, especially the Iowa drivers that only know how to sail backwards. I got really pissed off at a guy last night. He was in a Baltimore, and it was on the map Neighbors, and there was a destroyer that point blank ranged myself and another King George. We had 2 battleships that got just absolutely torped. There's nothing we can do, and the guy was sitting as far back as possibly could. And I sent him a message asking him if he knows what the radar is or what it does. I mean, I don't try and message people. I know it's a dickish move, but it really pissed me off. Does Stylo have YouTube? I don't think so. Oh, that's not even him. I thought that was him the whole time. But as a radar ship, that's your responsibility, is to kill those destroyers, so... And I'm killing myself again. This is just a really bad game. Actually might get a shot or 2 into him before he kills me. Yep. That one's not gonna miss. So I don't know. Not a good game, but you get the idea of what I would typically try and do. I play that game more aggressively than I would normally. You don't want the Baltimore is like the one cruiser I have that is not really a in motion cruiser. It's more of a stationary cruiser. And you can see I actually do run the prop mod on this, whereas my other Tier 7 cruisers, like a Mogami for instance, we'll look at the Mogami's build. This ship I envision being in motion constantly, so I have the aiming systems obviously. This one, why is this? Oh, this is Kagero. I was like, what did I do? So aiming systems, steering gear, and then main bat, which cuts down the reload time. This is the same build I have on the Hipper, I believe. And those are only 3 cruiser lines. But the Hipper and the Mogami I envision being in motion, whereas the Baltimore I envision being stationary. So because I envision it being stationary, that's when the prop mod comes into play, because it helps you get going when you're stopped. If it was a dancer, then you'd want steering gears. And again, because it's a stationary ship, I'm running concealment instead of steering gears. This one's completely worthless on cruisers, don't put that on there. This is just a really bad... I can't imagine a single ship I would put this on. You put it on battleships because it's your only option, but these two are your main. You'd want concealment or steering gears in general. But yeah, completely different philosophy from the other 2 cruisers. What were we gonna try? Icarus. So let me take a look at my Tyrant build. Reginald's a solid commander. I think both British destroyer commanders are great. I'm kind of leaning towards using this guy permanently. You can see I do have him in level 12. Right now I have him slated for a Swirsky and a Burke. So Burke's precision. Why the hell do I have Tanaka on there? I'm not even following my own builds. Alright. And by the way, I always boost. You can see I have 7 million blue stars. This costs 21 million, or 21,000, so don't play 10 games or whatever it is to get that inspiration. You want that inspiration immediately. But stealth helps with your torpedo aspect, and this helps with your gunboat aspect. So the British destroyers are hybrids. I don't know Icarus. I'm gonna have to remind myself what the ship is all about. Let's take a look. So torp range 8, concealment 6. What do we have for torps? 10 torps, 2-minute reload, 64 knots for a tier 5 torp. That's pretty damn good actually. Pretty high detectability. And then British HE guns. You almost always want to be shooting HE on the British destroyers. If you get an opportunity where you got a high probability of damage with the AP, fine. Like a close range cruiser broadside. But the HE, really good fire chance. A lot of destroyers don't have a very good fire starting chance, so that's another strength of this. The British destroyer line has a lot of idiosyncrasies that make it strong. Single tube torp launchers, high HE chance, and then they're spec'd out to be good, not great, at both the torpedo and the gun aspects. So I find them to be the hardest of the 3 lines we currently have, but that's because I'm able to use the USN as a gunboat very effectively, and I'm able to use the IJN as a torpedo boat very effectively. This one you need to play it pretty well to have a lot of success, in my opinion. I'm sure there's a lot of Royal Navy destroyer players that are better at them than I am. But the Lightning, the Jervis are both solid destroyers. This one I think is pretty good. It's been a couple months since I played it really, but we'll give it a whirl. And then depending on the situation, I use the widespread more than I probably should. I should probably get better at the single. But for me, shooting long range spreads where you're just hoping to get lucky, you want to be shooting it more widespread. The single launch, that's when you kind of know you're going to hit something, or you're a lot more sure that you're going to hit something kind of close range. So then if you keep hitting the ship in the same spot over and over again, you're going to cause a massive amount of damage. Whereas this Fusel, he's long range, he has plenty of time to turn, so I'm just going to do a traditional widespread for him. Like if I was using single shots at this range and distance, I'd essentially try and make the same spread. And another thing about the Royal Navy, obviously,
Smoke generator started.
quick acting cruise or boats. So
All stations. Concentrate.
you got 6 charges, they're all about a minute long.
Smoke screen set.
So you got to be paying attention when you use them. You don't want to get caught firing here with those when the smoke evaporates. If I can get a fire going. So we know for sure he's damaged con, he did have a flood. Now if I can get another fire, it doesn't matter. But you get the principle. If we got another fire there, you could leave him alone, there's nothing you can do. He would have died no matter what. And then you can see the smoke ran out, so you gotta be very careful firing those shots with the smoke about to run out.
Victory is in sight.
But we have 10 seconds till it's up again, so you can really just stay within range of these guys and keep popping smoke over and over again and harass them. This Nuremberg, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same play. As long as he's spotted by someone else,
Generator started.
he's gonna have a bad time. I don't think the HE damage is great on these. And if we can get a fire started and then switch to potentially AP. That would be ideal. We do have Torps coming back up. He's out of range. What's he doing? Water. Because he's slow and I'm assuming he's going to speed up, that's why I'm shooting one in front of him like that. Let's try the AP. Nope, I'm out of time. So, when the ship's kind of stuck on the beach like that, you just got to assume they're going to speed up once they dislodge themselves. That's why I fired one in front of, to the right of that other one. I think he's boned either way. I think that first salvo was going to hit him. Yep.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
So now we're undetected again. I'm just going to get close to that queen. Nice shot. I'm going to get right to the edge of my detection again. That's going to give me enough room to, again, lay more smokes, try and start a fire, wait for those torps to come back up. I'm actually going to switch gun sides. I think that third gun should be 360. That back one looks like it's not 360 yet. Both the Jervis and the Lightning have 360 rear guns. That makes it. Actually, that one did turn rearward too, so I don't think either of those guns. What the? All right. What's up, the Caboose? How you doing? Icarus has 10 torps. Yeah. I didn't realize that. I don't. Like I said, I haven't played this ship for a while, but that's a lot of torps for a tier 5 ship. And you can see they move very quickly, which means they're easier to aim and they're harder to dodge. So we had we had one devastating strike, and then the other one I thought was devastating enough to wreck his day. Title showing Icarus. What? All right. What were we gonna do? Oh yeah, we are showcasing the Japanese battleship, so I'll get one more Amagi. We might do one more game after this. We'll see. Well, that was a pretty good Icarus game, I thought. saw your comment, Jay, on that video. That was pretty funny. Yeah, that was a little bit of an outtake that I just thought I'd leave it in there. I thought it was kind of funny. But Jay wrote, "What happened at 11 seconds? A glitch in the Matrix? I knew you were malicious artificial intelligence. Game's up, Sonny." That's on the Wyoming video I put up earlier this morning, if you guys are wondering. Alright, so Amagi, what do we got? Iowa Amagi.
General quarters.
Set a smoke
Two
screen.
destroyers. Again, I'm
Set a
gonna...
smoke screen.
Shut up, you don't need a smoke screen.
Set a smoke screen.
This fucking idiot has the smokes and he's asking for a smoke screen.
All forces, capture that area.
Anyway. You want to try and turn as quickly as possible. Now I am experimenting with prop mod on these battleships to make this easier to do. But this is like the riskiest moment of the match right now. If you do this turn move and you get shot right off the bat, like this guy is incoming fire here. Luckily we did angle away from it. But if that catches me in the broadside, that can potentially even one-shot me, you never know. Yeah, set a smoke screen. Like what? I'm not gonna get on a rant about the radio, but the people just annoy the hell out of me. Alright, and then I'm looking on the map. Just battleship gameplay, stare at the map, look for broadsides. Like, this guy can shoot here in a second, and...
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
You know, after that it's, did I aim properly, and is luck on my side? I don't know. I can control one of those, I can't control the other one, but I can look for that broadside. Now we did angle away, I noticed on the map, so... He turned out of that shot, which is fine.
All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
But if I can take this guy out, I'd like to do that.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
So how I'm aiming this, it's 7 seconds, so 14 would be full distance, and he's at about a 60 degrees, so I'm cutting it down to 10. Now he did hit the brake, so it missed, but if he's perfectly 45 and it says 7 seconds, then I would aim it at 7 right here. Like, he's, you know, and the closer he turns to that, then the more you bring it in. But now he's 45, so 7's a good shot there. That's really...
Torpedoes astern.
A lot of people don't like my system because they think it involves a lot of math. There's not much math, it's just recognizing that. Like, I'm not actively sitting there saying, alright, 14 divided by 2. Not really. Like, I just recognize he's 45 degrees, so then I just do whatever it says on the seconds count. That's what I'm doing. Right there, I'm essentially doubling it. But it's a tried and true aiming system. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I do have aiming videos in my beginner series that I think I'm semi-decent at aiming, and a lot of people say they get better at it once they start using those systems, so.
Enemy destroyer detected.
But, I mean, what am I doing right now? There's nothing for me to shoot at on the map, and hitting that Fletcher is obviously a good thing. I did probably 1,000 damage on him, so not a huge thing, but what am I thinking? In the next 30 seconds, do I have anything else to shoot at that's better than that? Not really. The Hipper should be able to kill that guy if he doesn't S the bed. The Lightning should be able to help kill that guy. Like, those two combined should win that fight 19 out of 20 times. So there's very little value in me participating in that fight, but because this IO was out of range, these guys, I'm not in position to get my guns over there in 30 seconds anyways, so I might as well shoot that guy. Again, I didn't do a lot of damage to him, but I could have. 5,000 damage on the Fletcher is a lot of damage, you know. 1,000 damage on the Fletcher is not horrible. It's not good for him to take that. These two goofballs are really messing each other up. I love seeing that. 3 bounces. Wow. Interesting. Now, what I need to be paying attention to the map in this Iowa. This, even though I can't see him, I am detected. He can easily shoot me in the broadside. That could be catastrophic. Problem is, if I turn here, these guys are now on broadside of these guys. I doubt they can shoot at me yet. And they're kind of...
Concentrate fire on the designated
because
target.
they were humping each other's legs over there. Yeah, so you can see I turn against this guy, and to the extent he did hit my ship, it did nothing. And turning away made it a harder shot just in general. But that was a preemptive turn, and that's, again, you need to be paying attention to the map. Even though he's gray, as long as you're detected, you need to assume everyone on their team can shoot you, potentially.
All forces.
So
capture
the
that
Iowa,
area.
in my opinion, has the most dangerous guns for me. I mean, this guy's starting to turn, so his danger level's going way up, but he is shooting at this Baltimore, which he should
Set a
be.
smoke screen. Attention.
Baltimore
Reporting
needs to
the
be his
target
#1
position.
priority. I should be his #2 priority. So again, this guy's continuing to aim at me. You can see his guns. So right now, at this moment, he's my biggest threat. This guy could very easily become my biggest threat in short order, so
Teammate.
that's what
I
you need to be
your
doing.
support. Capture that area.
But because I'm angled at him, he can't do much. This guy's not paying attention to me, so now I can turn my attention to this. Fuck. If I could have killed that Megami in one shot, that would have been great. I do have a plane I can launch. I doubt that'll reach him, but
Fighter
doesn't hurt to
airborne.
try. And now the further I get from the Iowa, and the more this he's probably going to start paying attention to me, because this Baltimore is almost dead, and I'm near the guy he's focusing on, so now all of a sudden, even if he was ignoring me earlier, he's going to start paying attention to me.
All forces. Capture that area.
So now I'm angled towards this guy, even though I don't know where he is. And I'm still kind of angled to this guy, but he's not
Confirmed
shooting at me
penetration.
anymore, so... The Megami, yeah, I'm broadside to him. Do I want to be? Not ideally, but I definitely need to be angled against the Amagi that's over here. Now this guy could be torping me, I do need to keep that in mind. So I'd like to get rid of him. Again, there's that 45 degree I said earlier, so he shot 4 times 1 directly at 4, blew him out of the water. It's very easy to aim using that system, it just takes a little bit of practice. Now I'm turning here to help avoid these shots, but now I do have a problem. I got this guy down here, looks like he's probably an A, so we know, no, I'm sorry, that's the Scharnhorst. So I need to get rid of this broadside to this guy. That took way too long. But now I have the problem, there's the Amagi. Alright, so I need to actually turn away this way, which isn't ideal.
Target penetrated.
But these, I'm not worried about the Scharnhorst, but the Amagi and the Colorado can kill me in 30 seconds if they hit their shots, and I keep pointing broadsides at them. Amagi's not an easy ship to Citadel, but you can do a lot of damage to it if it's broadside, so... Like right there, he definitely hit the Citadel there. And that was because I was of the back and forth trying to figure out what to do. Now, that was huge because now I don't have to angle against him. I'm not worried at the Scharnhorst at this distance. We don't know where the Amagi is, but
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship. The ship is on fire.
I was gonna say, if I was using KONDO here and had a stealth build, this would be a great example of it, because now I could make this turn without exposing my broadside.
To capture that area.
I'm just hoping that the Amagi is behind this mountain and he can't shoot me, because if he could, that could be a great done. I'm not worried about the Scharnhorst, he can shoot me all day. And we'll go ahead and show him what we think. Alright, so there's the Amagi, that's where I thought he was, and that's why I made that turn. But had he been undetected within firing range of me somewhere else, that could have been game over very easily. There's 2 fires, we're going to damage con that. There's another cruiser, the Baltimore, that we didn't know was there.
All stations.
So,
Reporting the position of a strategic target.
I mean, all 3 ships that remain are here, so it doesn't really matter at this point.
Problem solved, sir.
But just out of principle, that Baltimore's pretty well angled, so I want to kill him, but I can't. Not at that angle. I mean, Alright. I don't want to say I can't, because I probably could damage him enough to kill him, but he's only got 5k health, give or take. But, see there, that angle, we did no damage. I don't think we got any damage on that salvo. Some days you'd rather be lucky than good. Yeah, I mean, it goes a long ways. There's certain things about this game you just can't.
Smoke screen.
Alright, so he's trying to torp me, obviously. And that guy's not paying attention to me, so I'm gonna try and sink this guy before he can torp me. Yeah, that didn't do enough, so I'm gonna turn away now. There's no reason to let this guy kill me.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
City's still broadside, and I mean, someone else might kill him, but it's not gonna last longer than that. So now,
Our victory
We
is in
destroyed an enemy cruiser.
for a second I thought I missed that shot. So because we're increasing the range from here, he has 6-kilometer torpedoes, so I might barely be in range of him now, but probably not. But frankly, my secondary versus the Sharnor's secondary, I don't know which one's better on paper, but I do know I'd rather be in this ship than that one. Just content to whittle him down. Again, keeping the distance. He's actually getting kind of in torp range, and I'm about to hit the edge of the map, but he's got about 10 seconds to go, so doesn't necessarily matter. And he gone.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
So the Umagi's an absolute beast. I'd say the majority of the battleships in the IJN line are absolute beasts. A lot of fun to play. And I thought we had some fairly decent games today, so that was nice for those of you that were watching. But I'm going to call it there. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I do want to point out for the guys that are members of my channel, there's a room on the Discord for members only. I have half of my members I don't have signed up for that yet. Either they're not on Discord or I don't know that because their usernames are different. So if you are on Discord and you are a member, send me a PM on there with your YouTube name and I'll get you added to the list on there. So, but yeah, that's it for the stream, guys. I appreciate everyone watching. Stylo for playing. It's always a lot of fun. I mean, I have a blast streaming with you guys. Great participation and great turnout every time. So that's a lot of fun. Thank you, guys. Might stream once more before the DDs are released. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure I have next Monday off unless something comes up. So I'm definitely planning on streaming for the release of those. So you might want to tune in for that if you're interested. And I hope you have a great day, everyone. And we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.